Today we have Byron Elliott, who is the husband of Letitia Elliott that you saw, who is our mortgage loan broker. He's a realtor. Let me just preface, don't come get in his car unless you're first pre-approved.
Get pre-approved.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Byron.
So I'm a son. I'm a father.
Okay.
I'm a husband. And those things, I guess, are the foundation for anything else
Right.
going on, business or ministry-wise. I happen to serve as a pastor here locally in Lynchburg. I've been a musician for many years, so I've traveled around, done a lot there. And yes, as you mentioned, I'm a licensed realtor here in Virginia.
You're literally all those things you talked about. You're in the profession of herding, catering,
Yes.
making sure that people's needs are met.
Yes.
And that's what we're here to do, to
Yes.
help our community get to home ownership. Rent is outpacing income.
It is. It is. It's an interesting equation because one would think that cities and localities would find ways, and I guess they do the best they can
Right.
to mitigate that. But yeah, it's a tough situation for a lot of people.
Yeah, because cost keeps going up. And as landlords, the cost goes down to the person that they're extending housing to.
That's exactly right.
But at least with the mortgage, 15, 20, 30 years, it's pretty consistent.
That's right.
Pretty consistent.
That's-
So how did you get into the housing industry?
I've gotten into the industry several times.
All right.
So as a kid, I remember moving around with my dad, who
Mhm.
had some rental properties, and so I understood what I could understand about what a landlord's relationship would be
Right.
with tenants, buying and selling properties and
Okay.
things. Saw it as a kid, didn't pay much attention to it. Then later on in life, I became, after some music touring and those types of things, I became actually a loan officer and
Okay.
loan originator back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
It was right around the time, it was just before the mortgage crisis, the mortgage
2008.
meltdown back in 2008. So we bought a home in 2006
Okay.
and was not very well educated or prepared for what we had done. So we probably overbought and ended up going through some really tough times as a result of the mortgage crisis, which also was my exit from the real estate industry
Right.
in that time. And we moved around and
So you
did
have some
other-
scars.
Got some scars. We got some skin in the game.
Right. That's right.
And then ministry developed in my life,
Mhm.
and God moved me in that direction. And so I noticed that I was having folks from the congregation constantly asking me how to dispose of or how to access real estate.
Right.
And I was referring them, sending them until, it dawned on me, I may as well get my license. So I became a realtor back, I guess it's been about 7 years now.
Okay.
And it's been a journey ever since.
That's great. So he saw a need in his congregation. Well, you saw a need first in you personally.
That's right.
So you needed to learn things so that you can do better in housing.
That's right.
So what is your ideal client as a realtor?
Buyers or sellers who are willing to be actively and honestly engaged with a team of professionals. Come with your questions, your honest questions.
Okay.
Come with some idea of what your goals are. Allow that conversation to sort of take shape
Okay.
in the conversation with your realtor.
Some of the people who are watching, they've never owned a home.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're watching. They're
Yeah.
trying to figure out, like, what is my next step? What are some of the questions that they should think about?
What does my family look like?
Mhm.
And what needs need to be met in the property, the perfect property for me?
Okay.
We see that people sometimes are attracted to the bells and whistles, attracted to the gravy and not paying attention so much to the meat.
Right.
And so making sure your needs are met
Right.
space-wise, making sure you're staying within your budget. Just because you may be pre-approved for a certain
Right.
amount, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what you need to spend.
So a family of 4, mom, dad, 2 kids. So children of the same sex, they can actually share a room.
Sure, my brother and I were in bunk beds for many years.
Right. It helps you stay close. Helps you stay close.
That's right. Yeah, there's I have a regimen of, I use the word regimen. It's sort of a list of questions
Okay.
and sort of a way of working through that conversation in a way that kind of simplifies it and allows them to make the choices themselves.
Okay.
I hate to feel like I'm steering, that's not my job
Right.
to tell them what they want, but it's really more
Yeah.
to recommend and help them discover what preferences they may not even realize they had. And then access to the things in your life. What type of commute are you interested in
Right.
when working? Are you an outdoorsy type person? Who's going to care for this lawn?
Oh, right.
So how much land do we actually need? And
Right.
those types of things.
So what are some of the pitfalls that people need to watch out for as they're looking at home ownership?
You have homes that look wonderful. There's a new paint
Right.
job and the floors are brand new.
Right.
But you don't know what's going on behind the walls. You don't know what's going on in the foundation or in the attic or the crawl space. And it's very, very important to understand the condition of what you're buying, not just the appearance.
Get the home inspection.
Yeah.
It's eyeball to eyeball. I'm telling you, DB Homes for Hope recommends you get the home inspection.
That's right.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. Because once you own the house, the seller has moved on.
That's right.
And the bank wants you to pay the mortgage in 30 days.
That's exactly right. You buy it, you buy it.
Right.
It's
Yes.
yours, it's your problem. It's multifunctional, if you will.
Right.
You can find out the details of the condition of the property,
Mhm.
but then a good realtor can take that and continue to negotiate on your behalf
Absolutely.
based on what the inspection reveals.
Right.
Just because it's on the inspection list doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It
Right.
may be something manageable, but it can help you to be in a better buying position. A good realtor is going to have the ability to negotiate and advocate on your behalf
Right.
for either some repairs or some concession, or they're going to be able to guide you if the seller is unwilling, to know where the breaking point may be as
Right.
to whether this is a good transaction to continue in or not.
So there is a moment that you may have to walk away.
Oh yeah.
Don't be so in the buying system that you're wedded to this house, because there are other homes. That may not be the house for you.
That's right. I feel very strongly that if you're not in a position to walk away, you're really not in a position to negotiate.
Right.
And so you need to be able to unemotionally
Mm-hmm.
and objectively make good decisions for your own future and listen to good counsel.
Right.
You need to be with a professional that you can trust what they're saying to you. And even if you go back and forth, your professional should have some room to go back and forth. This is not a feelings-based industry.
Right.
But we've seen some really good results from folks who are willing to ask the questions, but also willing to trust the answers.
Right. So there are different types of realtors. There's a listing agent. There's a buying. Wait, so you tell us, but there's also one that could be both.
Sure. Yes, you have the listing agent who helps folks to sell.
Okay.
You have the buyer's agent who helps folks to identify homes that they may want to purchase. And there is a role that can be played called a dual agent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tricky spot to be in, so I don't necessarily recommend it. It does work in some situations, some trusted situations, but you got to be careful even in that where there's one agent representing both parties,
Right.
and he owes fiduciary responsibility to both. Folks are scrolling on Zillow or some other platform, and they'll click on a listing and automatically assume that the agent who's listing the home should represent them.
Mm.
And sometimes buyers don't know that they should seek out their own representation. And so they end up in a dual agency situation, and you don't know who that agent is actually working for. They knew the seller before they knew you.
These are just options for you. I want you to clearly know your options.
Yeah.
So as you go to buy your home, you are prepared.
That's right.
And knowledgeable.
That's right.
And willing to walk away.
That's right.
Tell us of any success stories or anything else you want to tell us before we close out this episode.
One success story really comes to mind. There was a couple. It was a challenging rental situation they were in. The conditions were not really great. And so we were able to help them find a better rental scenario for, I think, 2 years.
Okay.
And they decided at the beginning of that 2 years, they did want to try to work toward purchasing. So I hooked them up with the best loan officer that I know, Letitia Elliott from Nexa Mortgage. And they worked together for almost 2 years to become purchase ready. Tried to make an offer on the home where they were living.
Okay.
The landlord was selling, but did not the numbers didn't come
Okay.
together. So then we had to go on a search. We were able to find them somewhere to live, somewhere to purchase, fit right into their budget. It created a scenario where they had some space with the option to rent, and then ultimately they were able to close without bringing any money to the table.
Oh, that's a sweet
So
situation.
it worked out really nice, and they're still in that home. They're loving it, and the family's growing. All things are great.
That is good. What a great success story. Thank you for sharing that. I want you all to hear that sometimes you don't go from being a renter to right into home ownership. Sometimes there is a step in between,
Sure,
a better rental situation,
sure.
getting you prepared to get your prerequisites, getting your pre-approval letter, then ultimately getting into your home.
That's right.
And in that scenario, they became a homeowner and a landlord all in the same transaction.
Same transaction.
And no money at the table. Anything else you want to share with us?
I just really appreciate this platform and what you're doing. We've had the chance to see each other in the community and working with different folks, and it just inspires me to be a part of a community that has folks like Coach Davina in it, driving the conversation and really pushing folks into their destiny.
Like all of us, we're God's people. To God be the glory, right?
God be the glory.
Use our skills and our talents that He's given us to help our community.
That's right.
But thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And look forward to you helping people get homes.
Yes.
All right.